Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Gemini, June 30th, 2022. Today's new moon puts your resources, including money, belongings, and talents, on the front burner. You're discovering essential things about your earning potential, attachments, and spending habits. If you've been holding on too tightly to a lifestyle or financial habits that haven't served you well, you'll now begin to recognize the need for a change. It's time for a fresh start with how you handle money and security needs. This new moon is about whether you are on top of things in a managerial position in your own life story. You will have plenty of opportunities to improve your lot in life as we move ahead. Today, feel things out before pushing on. Note that there's a feeling that we can do more than we can today, and while generally good intentions are involved, it's better not to bank on promises made now. You're feeling yourself, as is everyone else. After all, when was the last time luscious Venus made a sextile with lucky Jupiter, celestial ruler of your committed 7th house of agreements, compromise, and significant others, all while glimmering through your sign? Also, with Jupiter sizzling through your socially conscious 11th house of associations, community affairs, and individual freedom, chances are you're either mingling with your extended network or connecting with like-minded groups of individuals who inspire and motivate you to be the best version of yourself. Meanwhile, the new moon will continue to encourage and uplift you, both mentally and emotionally. Secure your resources. Today's new moon in Cancer begins a new cycle with finances, security, and value. You may feel surprisingly emotionally attuned to your money and sense of worth throughout this lunar cycle, which is a bit unlike you, considering that you are an air sign. But your emotional investment into your security can help you secure what you have and fight for your professional value. Then, Neptune stations retrograde in Pisces, unveiling your career path. You will have to face any escapist tendencies during Neptune retrograde to assume responsibility for the trajectory of your career. Your transmission may be stuck in reverse today, but this doesn't mean that you can't be productive. You may just need to change your approach. Make a careful assessment of the situation before you proceed. It may be that someone is openly trying to cross you. Be smart about your rebuttal. Head-on combat may not be the best approach. Try reasoning. You may discover that there are pieces of the puzzle that you weren't aware of. You are enjoying harmonious relations with family and friends. Take time for shared activities, they will give you great pleasure. Occasions like this let you see what kind of person you are and the role you play amongst family and friends. What could be better than to find yourself in the company of others? Relax and just take care of those essential tasks that you can't avoid. You need to keep a light schedule today, if possible. It's a great time to open up to someone you know well. Don't let how you're feeling pass you by, instead voice your romantic wishes, and tell others what you're willing to give and what is expected in return. Go out and make yourself noticed, be courageous. Find the person who is right for you and discover how you might begin to share wonderful times with another. Your physical and mental energy are both exceptionally strong right now. If you're creative, you'll want to throw much of that energy into a project that means a lot to you. If you're athletic, you'll probably want to get out and play a rousing game of tennis or racquetball, or perhaps go for a jog or an aerobics class. Bear in mind, however, that much of this energy is nervous energy that burns out quickly. Pace yourself. Creative essence abounds on this day. With your own natural essence enhancing your talents and skills, you have the opportunity to utilize your innovation in new ways. Artistic expression is at its best today. Don't be surprised with how many seek you out to share their problems and experiences with you. Encourage them to express themselves in whatever safe medium they choose. Sometimes more can be expressed through art than through words alone. Just take enough time for your own needs as well. In the heart of the working week, yesterday's new moon in your income sector is still having an ongoing impact and will continue to even after the moon leaves tomorrow. While this is a new moon that in the sun's early weeks in your income sector can create a lot of forward momentum, the timing means that this is also having a positive impact on the job and career fronts as well. If the stars are going to align across the income, work, and career fronts, then the heart of the working week is the perfect time. 2 months after Mercury returned for what is normally a 14 to 15-day visit to Gemini, the planet of communication is finally preparing to leave. It is the Moon's return to your communication sector tomorrow that will give Mercury's final days a boost, while having Venus, the planet of love in Gemini, is giving your heart something to express. Our eyes in the sky. There's a lot going on in the universe today, starting with Neptune in watery Pisces heading retrograde. Over the next few months, you'll be forced to wake up from your daydreams and face the reality of what life is throwing at you, which can be somewhat of a rude awakening for some people. Luckily, your intuition will still be working for you, helping you to make tough decisions as your delusions all but disappear. A new moon in water sign Cancer adds to your emotional moodiness, putting the people you care most about in your spotlight. Not being able to help them is your biggest nightmare, so get ready for a busy day of trying to do favors for and coming to the defense of friends and family who need you to run interference or play referee. The Sun squares Jupiter in Aries late in the day, reminding you to keep your expectations low, and a Sun-Moon conjunction in sensitive Cancer emphasizes the relationships with the people in our lives who give off major feminine energy. If one of them lets you down now, it will be very difficult to deal with. Most interpersonal problems can be dealt with in a positive way, but it's uber important to keep your emotions in check. After midnight, Neptune stations retrograde in Pisces. When the planet of fantasy, illusion, and magic is direct, the proverbial wool is pulled more firmly over our eyes. We fall prey to the folly of optimism, becoming susceptible to subliminal messaging in media, or making improper assumptions within our relationships. While our idealism can make for poetic or romantic moments, we are less firmly rooted in reality. However, when Neptune stations retrograde, the veil of illusion is lifted, causing us to see our circumstances with improved clarity. We might be confused at what is revealed at this time, experiencing disappointment akin to waking up from a dream where we have won the lotto or wound up with our unavailable love interest. We see ways in which we have allowed ourselves to be deceived, or ways we have deceived ourselves. Yet, we also can use new revelations as a jumping-off point to participate in the world in healthier ways. Neptune will move backward until December 3rd, so seek to reframe burst bubbles as learning opportunities during this time. We are not ready to give up on our past, content to punish ourselves. Under this influence, we are brave enough to imagine that our lives might look different if we do the work. Following this aspect, the moon begins its void of course, suggesting that we focus on what must be released and purged, rather than immediately trying to fill empty space with something new. Replacement therapy can be valid, but this is an occasion where stillness and self-awareness are all the replacements we need. In the morning, the moon enters Cancer, ending its void of course which began early last night. We are just a few hours shy of the Cancer new moon, and the next 2 days will find us more entrenched in Cancerian concerns of home, family, and security. Our emotions may fluctuate more than usual now, however, this influence intends to show us that our feelings are a strength rather than a weakness. During this lunation, we come to a better understanding of where, and with whom, we can safely express our vulnerability.